Hello everyone. Students, we have started the lesson The Sword in the Stone of subject English standard 6th. We have seen some part of it. Let's see, students, we have seen that the king Uthar is poisoned by some traitors and he was killed. And then after his son Arthur was kept in someone's care. Okay, that we are going to see, students. And see here, we have come we have seen the part that also that Uthar with whom he was kept, that is Sir Ictor. Okay, Sir Ictor had one more son, that is Sir Kay, and one grand tournament was arranged for that was arranged for deciding who will be the Britain's king. Okay, after the death of Uther king, okay, after 16 years this tournament was arranged because the sword, okay, the in the churchyard there was one avil, and in that avil the sword was kept, and no one could get out of that sword from that avil. And it was said that, or it was announced at that time that the one inscription was written on that avil, that is that whoever will keep that sword out of that avil will be the king of Britain. So the tournament was arranged for deciding that who will be the king of that Britain. Okay, means obviously who will keep out that sword from that avil will be the king. That way the announcement was. So this tournament was arranged on New Year day. Okay, New Year's day. So Sir Kay was also participated. Okay, Sir King sorry Arthur's half brother means Sir Ictor's uh, the son, elder son, that is Sir Kay, also was participated. Okay, was participating in this tournament, and obviously Arthur was there with him. And now see here, students, we have seen that Sir Kay forgot his sword in the home, and that's why he uh, uh, sent Sir Kay sent Arthur to bring that sword from the home. And in the students, see here, when Arthur was galloping on the horse, he saw that in the churchyard, okay, there was one sword kept in avil, and he thought that why should I go that much long distance to home and bring that sword. He thought that if sword is available, then I'll took that. And he, means Arthur, he went there and he easily kept out that, or he put out that sword from the avil, and he once again reached it to Sir Kay. Sir Kay was also surprised by the sword he brought that much in very less time, and he asked the question, how in a little time only you brought that? And now Arthur told him that he had brought that sword from the churchyard, and and afterwards we will keep that sword there only. Okay, now see here, that Sir Kay was now he got the idea that the sword he brought, Arthur brought, it is not any ordinary sword, but it is the sword which was going to be decided the who will the king of Britain. Okay, and now see here, students, then after we have seen that see here, students, he Sir Kay took that sword in his hand, and he once again he ran to his father Sir Ictor to tell this thing. And now this Sir Ictor also got surprised by this sword, and he asked the question to Sir Kay, how he got that sword. Okay, how he got that sword, and he told that, yes sir, I got by myself, and it doesn't matter that how I got that, but now this sword is in my hand, no, then it is mine, means I have that ability to become the king of Arthur, he said. but Sir Ictor was not ready to believe him. Okay, and he that's why Sir Ictor made him to go to church, and there on the choir. Okay, that is, see students, choir. It is choir means the one singing place in the church. Okay, so on that choir the holy book, that is Bible, was kept. Okay, Bible was kept, and he said that you swear on the holy book. Okay, you swear on the holy book, and that you drew the sword from the stone. Now see, but now Sir K had not courage to say that yes, he had pulled out that sword from the stone. Okay, and that's why he lowered his eyes. He lowered his eyes, and he could not face his father now. Now Sir Victor asked him once again, "How did you come by the sword then?" Okay, how did you come by the sword, son? And Arthur said that Arthur brought it to me, father. Okay, he said. Okay, Sir K said that Arthur brought it to me, father. He said. Now, see here. He now that Sir K brought told him. Okay, Sir Victor told him K to bring Arthur there. Bring Arthur here, and let the three of us go to the church at, and then we have to know the truth about this, he told. Okay, bring Arthur here, and let the three of us go to the church, and we have to know the truth about this. Soon the three of them were at the church at. Put the sword back on its with, Sir Ictor said to K. And now Sir Ictor ordered to K that to put that sword back on its evil. But he tried, but he could not put the sword back. Okay, means it was not possible for K to put that sword back onto the place, because it struck. Okay, it struck the anvil and slid off the block. Okay, it struck means that is, it is fell down. Okay, it fell down. Okay, it fell down, and it beat the anvil. It only beat the anvil. Struck means beat. Okay, strike, that is, strike means beat. So it beat the anvil, and only it fell off. Okay, that is, fell off, slid off the block, means it will not fit to the place. Now see here students, Arthur was looking all these things. Okay, and he thought that his father was angry with them. Okay, his father was angry with them, and that's why he is telling this type of activity once again to keeping there. Now see here students, his Sir Ictor had always told his son what matters most for a king, for a knight, is integrity. Okay, and Sir Ictor was always teaching the good lessons to his sons, and according to his opinion, for becoming a good knight, the most essential thing is, that is, integrity. Okay, integrity means faithfulness. Integrity means faithfulness. So every knight should be faithful to his work, faithful to his king. Okay, faithful to whatever he does. Okay, so integrity, faithfulness is needed. So according to him, if now Arthur thought that I have taken that sword without asking anyone, and that's why that Sir Ictor might be got angry. Okay, and that's why he is doing or he is making us to keep that there only on the place. Now, so being honest and truthful at all times, on all occasions. So for the knight, this is integrity is needed. So being honest is very needed, and truthfulness. Okay, truthfulness is needed. Now see here, immediately Arthur also stepped forward, because Sir K could not keep that on the place. Okay, and that's why he immediately came forward. Here, let me put it back, he said. Okay, I will keep that. I will put that sword on the place. And taking the mighty sword from his elder brother, he thrust it back on the anvil, and it slipped neatly. And he took the big sword from his elder brother, and he thrust that. Okay, he kept that there on the anvil, and it was slipped in very neatly. Now see here, Arthur is giving explanation. I assure you, father, I did not steal the sword. Kay needed a sword urgently, and I did not want to keep him waiting. Rather than ride all the way home, I decided to take the sword which I found in the churchyard. And see, it is back in its place now. I fully intended to put it back in place after the tournament. And glancing at his brother, he added, I am sure that is what Kay would have told me to do, wouldn't you, brother? And now Arthur is giving was giving the explanation that I assure you, father, that my intention was not that to keep that with us forever, but I want for the time being only I wanted to take that, because going to the riding to the way home, it was the killing of time, and that's why I thought that for time being I will take this sword for Sir K or K, and then afterwards we were going to keep that once again there. Okay, and once again he looked at the brother and he also asked him, I am sure that is what K would have told me to do so. And obviously Sir means K would have also told me to keep that sword again on the place in the evening only, wouldn't you, brother? Yes, no, brother, wouldn't you, brother? Sir K did not speak a word. Okay, but Sir K did not speak or did not tell anything. Why, students, see here? Because Sir K know that, or K knew that the sword was not a ordinary sword, but it is the sword which will make the king of Britain. Okay, no, and that's why he will not going to return that once again. Okay, all right, Arthur, I believe you, said Sir Ector. And once again he told Sir Ector told him to keep that sword on the place. Now let me see. Now let me see you draw that sword out as you did the first. Now I want to see how you draw that out of that anvil. I want to see that first time how you did that. But try as he might, K could not so much as the grip handle, and he could uh, K could not so much as grip the handle, and he could not move the sword, however hard he tried. And now we first of all he said to K to keep the sword on the place, but it was not possible for him, or that K could not keep that on the place, and that's why he called Arthur then. Okay, now it is your turn, Arthur. Now it is your turn, Arthur, said Hector sternly, and Arthur gripped the handle of the sword and he drew the sword out gently but firmly. Okay, and then after say students that Arthur could not keep that sword on the anvil. Okay, and he could not also put out that sword from the anvil only, and means it was not possible for K also to keep that out from the anvil. Now for Arthur it was easily means he can he can do that easily. Arthur gripped the handle of the sword and drew the sword out gently but firmly. And Arthur gripped that he caught the handle of that sword, and he drew that, he put out the sword gently. Sir Ector made him repeat the action again and again. Each time Arthur gripped the handle and drew the sword out without any hesitation. And Sir Ector made this action again and again, and he was every time he successful. Now Sir Ector was overwhelmed. He became overjoyed, and he fell on his knees before his young son, who held the mighty sword in his hand, and bowed his head in deep devotion. Wordlessly, Kay followed his example. Now Sir Ector became overjoyed, and he fell on his knees. Okay, he fell Arthur needs. Okay, before his young son, and he held the mighty sword in his hand, who Arthur. Okay, and he bowed his head in deep devotion, and Sir Kay also made the same. Arthur jumped back in surprise. Arthur did not get what is going on. Okay, and he jumped back in surprise. Father, why do you kneel before me? Am I not your son? Now see students, the picture is given here. This is Avil is shown here. Okay, stone Avil it is, and in that Arthur is keeping the sword. Okay, that is what I had thought until now. Sir Victor replied, but now I know better. I know whose son you are. You are the son of good King Uther Pendragon, and I bow to you as you are the king of Britain now. Okay, and now he said that, but now I know, I'm only thinking of that, but now I know whose son you are. You are the son of King Uther Pendragon, and I am bowing before you because you are the king of Britain now. How could that be? You and I know that I was an orphan boy entrusted to your care. Okay, how could that be? Okay, it is not possible. How could that be? Because you and I know that I am an orphan. I have no parents. Okay, and my responsibility is given to you for only care. Silently, Sir Ector pointed to the inscription on the stone, which Arthur had not seen until now, and that Arthur has not still seen that inscription. Okay, now whatever written on that stone, he had not that read. Whoso pulleth out this sword is by right of birth king of England. Okay, whoso pulleth out this sword is by right of birth king of England. Okay, who will pull out this sword from this Avil? He will be the king of England. But it can't be me, father. I am your son, and I shall always remain your son. But it is not possible. It can't be me. It will not be me, because I am your son, and I want to be your son only. There was a flash of light, and Merlin appeared before them, a hooded figure with bright, shining eyes and a bewitching smile. Lovingly, he laid his hand on Arthur's head and said to him, and then after the flash of light was seen, and Merlin then after appeared there. Okay, and he told okay, that shining eyes, and he laid his hand on Arthur's head, and he told Arthur that I was the one who entrusted you to good Sir Ector. Okay, and I'm only the person who had handed to you to Sir Ector, he said. And I knew that great danger lay ahead for the kingdom and yourself and your father. That's why made this thing to do. No sooner than you were born, your father blessed you and handed you over to me with the solemn request that you would take your rightful place on the throne of England when it was safe for you to do so. And then he said that when you born, as soon as you born, the responsibility of your safetyness was given to me by your father, means by King Uther. And then after I was searching for the rightful place for your safety, and that's why I given this responsibility to Sir Ector. Okay, because he was the only right person for it. And now turning to Sir Ector, Merlin said, in the name of the late King Uther, I thank you. You have done a splendid job of bringing up the heir of the British throne. Now you must inform the Archbishop and your fellow knights of all that has happened here. I shall await your return. And now turning to Sir Ector, he told that in the name of on the behalf of King Uther, I thank you for bringing or upbringing for this child Arthur, and you have done your job perfectly, he said. Okay, And he also that Merlin said that ask this thing about this thing you tell to Archbishop, means the president or the chief of the church, and all the fellow knights who had gathered for the tournament. And now forthwith, okay, forthwith means that is instantly, okay, forthwith means instantly. Sir Ector called upon the archbishop and all the lords assembled there, they gathered there, and holding Arthur, okay, holding holding Arthur the hand, he announced to the assembly that behold the rightful king of England. And then after he hold the hand of the Arthur, okay, and he raised that hand and he announced who, that is Sir Ector announced that behold means see, okay, behold the rightful king of England, okay, behold, right, see the rightful king of England. For a moment there was silence. No one was getting what is happening. For a moment they don't understood. Okay, they were not believing their ears. And then the crowd burst out in angry protests. And then after for some moments there was the silence. And then after the crowd came out angrily and they were asking the question, how can we believe you? Who is this unknown boy? Where did he come from? How is he any better than one of us? These type of questions came. Then Archbishop took them all to the churchyard. The entire assemblage watched in awe as Arthur inserted the sword in the anvil and drew it out effortlessly. Some of the lords and knights also tried to draw the sword but failed to do so. Now Archbishop took them all to the churchyard where that anvil was there, and all the assemblage means committee, all the people, all the crowd, okay, all the people were watching in awe. Awe means what is that? Is awe means in surprise they were watching, and Arthur do the same as he done before it also. Okay, he inserted that sword in the anvil and drew it out effortlessly without any efforts, without any labor. And before it also some lords and knights have also tried for it, but they were not successful in that. But now Arthur was doing that very easily. Okay, no, so all were got surprised. Again and yet again Arthur drew the sword from the stone before his people. Each time cheers went up, and each time more and more knights drew their swords and held them high in a gesture of loyalty to their new found prince. And again Arthur did the same thing, same action, and every time, each time cheers went up, everyone was shouting, everyone was making jai jaikar, okay, we call it that cheers went up. And each time more and more knights drew their swords, and every knight was every knight was okay, knight means sardar, okay, drew their swords and they raised their swords in the high in the air and held them high, and they were showing the loyalty towards newfound prince. Okay, newfound prince means they were showing that they will be loyal, they will be loyal, they will be honest to their newfound prince, newfound king. Loud cheers rose from the common people who had surrounded the churchyard, eager to greet their new king. And then after, so common people were also shouting at the time, and who were also surrounded by the church, and they were very much eager, they were very much eager to greet their new king, they were very eager to greet their new king. Now Merlin stepped out of the shadows and addressed the crowds, okay, addressed the crowds, and he said, behold, O people of Britain, I present to you the one and only son of King Arthur Pendragon and his queen. He is your rightful king. And then Merlin stepped out from the shadows, okay, he was standing behind, and he addressed to the crowds, okay, and addressed to the peoples, and he told, behold means see, O people of Britain, I present you, okay, I am presenting you the King Uther Pendragon's and his queen's son, and Uther, that is Arthur, and he is your rightful king. This way, students, the after 16 years of waiting, Britain got the king. Okay, that this way the lesson is completed here, students. And the question answers are given here. All of the question answers you write, leaving only fifth question. Okay, you only don't write this question only. Okay, you don't write this, otherwise all the questions you write in your notebook and send the photos of it. Okay, we will stop here, students. Thank you.